Hey YouTube, welcome back to Homegrown, where we're reviewing another American-made piece of outdoor gear today. It is the Buck 110 Slim Select pocket knife. Buck been around for a long time, still a family-owned company. My first real knife was a Buck. I imagine that was the case for a lot of you all as well. Majority of their knives are still made in the U.S. They do have a few imports out there running around, so you have to pay a little bit of attention, but for the most part, Buck's stuff is still coming out of the USA. There you go, 110 ODS2-B is the model number on that one. Not a whole lot in the box. Little owner's manual there is about it. Glass-filled nylon handle on this one. This is obviously a take on the old 110, the original 110, which had some brass in the handle and was a lot bulkier knife than this one is. Glass-filled nylon handle, available in a number of colors. 420 HC stainless steel clip point blade. This is more of a budget steel. It is the steel that Buck considers to be their standard. But Buck is also known for their heat treating process, which gives really good corrosion resistance as well as strength and edge retention. So they may be getting a little more out of a 420 blade than what their competitors would. This one is available in an upgraded version, the Pro, the 110 Slim Pro, with micarta scales and an S30V blade, but that one is more in the retail of 94 bucks. This one, the Select, has a retail of $35, and I got it on sale last week for like $23, I think. So this one is a much different price point than some of the knives that we've been looking at lately, and really removes excuses for anybody that wants to carry an American-made knife. There's really no reason to carry around some piece of junk, a cheap import, when you can have really a quality, solid American-made knife for $35 or less. So 110 Select, solid all-purpose knife. Could certainly be somebody's everyday carry, work as a hunting knife. I'm going to show you a knife that I've carried as a hunting knife that has a very similar clip point as this one. Utility or farm knife. I mean, this thing can fit a lot of bills there. Real versatile blade design. Again, I've got a lot of deer with that same blade style over the years. The 110 Slim does have thumb studs on either side there, so it's ambidextrous there. It also has a pocket clip, which obviously the original 110 did not, and that one can be switched sides, so you can put the pocket clip on either side for your purposes there as well. This uses a lockback design, so it is a one-handed open. It's not going to be as smooth and fidget worthy as a Benchmade and Axis lock type design, but for this price point, proven design, been around a long time, good and sturdy. You've got a rocker bar here, and that's sort of what makes the lockback design work. You can see that rocker bar raise here as you're closing it, and then on the other way, and then you just close it by pushing the button in the back. It's effectively a two-handed closure. Some guys will push the button and close it against their pant leg or something like that, but whatever. More or less a two-handed closure design, but been around for a long time. Good, reliable lockup. Lockup is real solid up and down. There's a little bit of lateral play there, but I'm not too concerned about that for sort of a utility knife type application. Centering is often hard to see on the camera, but that one for 35 bucks, it's close enough. There's no rub there that I'm feeling, so I'm not too worried about that. Dimensions on the 110 Slim Select. Overall length is 8.625, blade length of 3.75. So pretty much the same as the original 110 on those two dimensions. The width is 0.4 inches, which is significantly slimmer, as the name might indicate, than the original. The original is coming in there at about 0.62. Weight-wise, on the Buck 110 Select, we come in right at 3 ounces. The original, and that original comes in a number of variations now, but they land right around 7.2 ounces from what I can tell. So this one's coming in at 3 ounces. nice and light, nice and slim. I mean, this knife really does carry well. Comparing it to a couple of other designs. So this is an old Bucklite 422. Unfortunately, I must be the only redneck in America that does not have an old 110 laying around for comparison, but I couldn't track one down quickly. This 422 was made in probably the late 80s, early 90s. You can see it was a promotional knife that actually my grandfather gave me years ago. This is based on a 112 Ranger. So, you know, the 112 is a little bit smaller than a 110, which you can see indicated there, both from the handle and blade length standpoint. The width of the handle is, you know, obviously a big difference here. The new 110 Slim Select, living up to its name, much narrower, carries around in the pocket real well. So that is the comparison to that 422 or the 112 Ranger type style. This is a Benchmade North Fork, obviously at a much different price point, but it is a platform a lot of folks are familiar with. So giving you an idea of what those two look like side by side. The 110 Select a little bit longer in the handle and blade. And there you can see them sort of side by side. So again, the Slim Select a little bit narrower through the handle there than the Benchmade North Fork. So that gives you comparisons to some other models that you might be familiar with. Overall impressions on the Buck 110 Slim Select. Great budget option, as I said earlier, $35. There's really no reason to carry around some nameless piece of junk import when you can be really into a solid American-made knife for that kind of money. So that's the great news. It's not the most refined knife you've ever seen. It's not going to be, you know, the action is much stiffer. You know, it is one-handed opening. I'm not, you know, and that would probably break in a bit over time. It's not nearly as easy to flip open as an Axis lock or something like that. But again, for this price point, I'm certainly not too worried about that. Again, two-handed open or two-handed closure, which is what it is. I'm not a big fan of that pocket clip. It's just kind of big and bulky and a little bit goofy looking. You know, I would probably prefer something a little bit slimmer there, but I get they were trying to incorporate their anvil design there for a little bit of branding. So it's not the end of the world, but it's not my favorite while I'm at it. You know, it's probably not going to be my everyday carry. It could be a good everyday carry for somebody. This thing's going to last for a long time, I'm confident. But it may very well be the knife that I carry around the farm here until I break it or lose it. And at this price, it's not going to break my heart if that happens. But, you know, good blade, good sharpness out of the box. And I think it'll hold up for a long time taking that beating. I do like the handle design and the texturing there. On the scales that you can see a bit closer, and it's covered by Buck's Forever warranty. So if you have a failure due to workmanship or material failure, they're going to stand behind it, and that is hard to beat for a $35 knife. I hope the review was helpful. If you're interested in more American-made outdoor gear reviews, like and subscribe. Thanks a lot. See you next time.